Yes, it's the fight with yourself, you know. You calm yourself down to not take too much energy, you know, to not over push. Yes.
Das sind meine Freunde, bring mir deine Scheißklicke. Drück auf Play, Junge, merkst du, wie ich Rap ficke? Was ist los, wer will stunk? Ich komm mit der Faust auf den Punkt. Wir sind Straße und nimm kein Blatt vom Mund. Hab mit 2 alten Rapper in die Ecke gestellt. Ich bleibe anders als ihr, komm in meine Welt. Ich mach weiter und zeig, warum es dich nicht mehr gibt. Weil der Block dich nicht kennt und die Straße mich liebt. Du musst kämpfen, hier fällt dir nichts auf die Schoß. Du bleibst Junkie, Omega, konkurrenzlos. 13 Jahre Deutschland, ich hab's schon damals gewusst. Ich check jetzt nach 4 Jahren Rap, kleine Kids auf die Brust. Omega, Macho, Schwein, los Baby, tanz. Alle schnappen, alle gleich, Mandy hängt am Schwanz. Und mein Blut kocht, die Seele tief in mir brennt. Ich bleibe King, ganz egal wie viele Klicks ihr mir schenkt. Ich bleib Sieger, weil mich jetzt deine Stadt kennt. Ich bleib Macho, was dein Vater kriminell nennt. Ich bleib anders, weil mich jetzt keiner mehr bremst. Omega, Prototyp, dein Bezirk brennt. Ich bleib Sieger, weil mich jetzt deine Stadt kennt. Ich bleib Macho, was dein Vater Ich bleib Macho, was dein Vater kriminell nennt. Ich bleib anders, weil mich jetzt keiner mehr bremst. Omega, Prototyp, dein Bezirk.
Yo, guys, what's going on? It's Joseph from the Heretic Chronicles. Coming from Germany, you know, he's a street fighter. He also, you know, does a lot of other things on the side as well. But before we get any further, brother, introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Lavie, from Germany. We race Frontier, Respect of the Streets. And yes, it's a crazy story behind it. Today, we talk a little bit about that, what we can say. Yes, the rest you have to think yourself about it.
Tell me a little bit more about yourself, Lavie. Like, you know, how was your childhood? You know, how was that?
Yes, it's like by a normal family, you know, in our city, we grow up with every natures, every people, you know, you have to come good with all the people, yes. And yes, that's what we do, but also sometimes it brings problems with you. So, for example, in school like that, we had also groups, you know, and it's normal, we are children, that one group is attacking the other, you know, and when you get older, it takes maybe more violent ways. Yes, but it's like that. It never changes, you know. When the kids want to play, the adults want to fight like that. I was really twisted because we live here at the border of France, and you know we are so close that there are 2 worlds, you know. One time is Germany and one time is France, so France. And yes, it's 2 different worlds. But when you live directly on the border, you know, that line of the border is completely, yes, crazy. We say crazy, yes. It's
How is it going from France to Germany? Can you just instantly, like, how is it traveling? Like, going back and forth, if you
yes,
did?
the traveling. So that both countries, Germany and France, are divided from a big river. The name is Rhin, so Ra, and it's a big river, and it divides the 2 countries, you know. So when you go in the other country, for example, from France to Germany, you have to go over a bridge, and then you are there.
I know you have MMA experience, but kind of dive in and let us all know, you know, what's your, you know, background when it comes to combat.
So the thing is, when I was growing up, I went like everybody, you know, yes, to boxing, to MMA, you know. With 16, I had my first MMA fight. And then it started, you know, when I was 18, security. And then you train with the guys from the security door, you know, and you train with them, you fight with them in the discotheque, in wherever you, yes, are. And yes, I was working in much discotheques where, for example, Russia discotheque, erotic business like that, and much trouble there, yes. And for that, we trained, you know, so it had a reason that we trained. And yes, but it took us also together, because it's a difference when you train with somebody or you train with him and after that you fight with him in the street against other people.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow, that
And
sounds crazy.
yes, like that I was growing up. And now I'm 31, and in that time, yes, many things happens, good things, bad things, but I'm still alive, yes. Because in Germany was not MMA, nobody made it, or not much people, Not like now in every city is a MMA gym. In my time, we went to Austria, we went to other countries to fight MMA. Yes,
Wow,
with the whole gym, and the whole gym was at the door, like that. It was
that's very,
crazy.
that definitely sounds crazy. So, all right, man. So, kind of dive into the origins of Frontier. How did this even like come about?
Yes, it was like that. Frontier. It comes out my mind, so it's also a message. So, and I had that message all my life in the head, from what I was. I don't know how to say. You take the informations, take the informations. At the end, you have your world picture, and for that you stand a little bit,
Mm.
And that's why I took that inside Frontier, because it was in the Corona. The discotheque was closing, all the things was closing in the whole world. So we made like a revolution like that. Nobody was at the street at 6 o'clock. The police come when you are with three people outside. What you do there, what you do there. In the same time, we was in France, ghetto, and was 400 people, and we was fighting. So because the police comes not there, and yes, that was a
So,
little bit a message to that whole thing, that we don't believe in that, or there's no need for Frontier. For me, there's no need for Frontier, because I have a job at a security. That's my life. We're fighting, we go on fights and all. But then it stopped, you know. The jobs was away, all was away. We was also bored. It's not that only also the money was away, but we was bored, and all the securities in our city was bored. So, and
mm.
I lived also at the other side in France, in Strasbourg is that city. And yes, from that time also I took many things with me, and that's why I wanted to make a connection between the two countries, and that's why we brought German fighters to French fighters.
Mm.
Yes,
This is just deep. This is deeper than just fighting, which is really cool. It gets people to
exactly,
express themselves.
exactly. So, many people say, hey, we make like King of the Streets and all because the mask. But for example, the mask was at the beginning. It was I had to wear that mask because hey, we're standing with 400 people. I organized them. We're standing there like that. You have to wear the mask. But the difference is we respect King of the Streets because hey, they are the fathers of that shit. You know,
Oh, of
they are the
course, yes,
fathers
yes, of
of
course,
that
of
shit.
course, yeah,
So
for sure.
so
Yep.
they earn the pure violence. That's their thing, the pure violence.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
For example, they don't have to do in their clips much music or something rap. No, they make their line, they make pure violence. We mix it a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
try many ways, rap way, that way, that way, that way, and everybody have his own thing. The pure violence is for King of the Streets, If you want to see mixed things with, I don't know, stories, like that, yes, then come to us, yes. Then you watch us. But the best is you watch both.
You have really good stand up. You have good groundwork as well. So kind of explain to me, where your fighting style comes from.
Yes, the thing is I tried with 8 years like that, boxing. After that, when you are young, you after 2 years it's a little bit boring. You want to take more, then kickboxing, MMA, and then I made directly with 16 my first MMA match. And yes, after that match, I learned, hey, I have to go at the ground because I fought against a 26 years old guy. It was a little bit, the fight was a little bit, I don't know. It was the other guy who were on the poster, you know?
Yeah.
There was a guy at the poster, but the other guy came. No matter, no excuses.
So
He
you
was
gotta
good at the ground. I'm not, and that's why, yes, and that's why I trained BJJ. I went to BJJ chips, you know, to events to learn more, to fight, and use that for the cage fights. Yes.
what's going through your mind, man, like right before the fight starts?
Yes, it's the fight with yourself, you know, you calm yourself down to not take too much energy, you know, to not over push.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes,
So
sir.
my personally thing is before the fight is the breathing, you know. Like you have to control that, you know, to take calm, not to over push because then you can make a half minute and then maybe it's over. That's why, yes, that's my fight for myself directly in front of the fight, you know.
Tell me a little bit more about your future. Like, you got any future fighting plans? Anything coming up?
For myself for Frontier.
No, for yourself.
Who in the moment, you know, I try to run Frontier good. And yes, I fight now in, for example, I fight at the event in 7 days against OG No Rules from Romania, and we make a vale tudo fight.
For the fans out there that might not know, can you explain to them what the Airfield Rumble may be?
Airfield Rumble, how I can explain that? It's rockers, you know, rockers. So from a rocker club, they make a cool event there. Also, family comes, you know, children comes and all. You can eat there. You know, it's a little bit like um, how to say, much with woods, you know. So you come inside there, and it's a really it's an airfield. Uh, yes,
Mm.
and there it is. There are the fights, you know. That's why Airfield Rumble, and it's really cool. And it's hardcore, yes, because hard guys are there, you know. It's like the atmosphere is cool. It's crazy. And yes, we make their Valetudo fight. It was, I know that since one day because if you search for fighters, you know, we promised, hey, we give them one fight. So one guy is sick, you know. So I said myself, hey, come, I fight, no matter. I was now half year, 1 year not fighting, you know, and it's still in me. That's why I said, come, I fight. I
Mm.
have no, you know,
I
I have dreams, but I cannot say to you where I am at that point because I don't know where life takes me. Maybe I'm in prison, maybe, you know, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know what is in 10 years, but if we run it really good, yes, it's enough for me when I can say, hey, it's one of the best in the world underground fight clubs. Yes, and we can give the people a little bit motivation, you know.
do you want to kind of keep this fighting in Germany? Do you wish to, expand, or do you feel like at the moment, Germany is basically where these fights are going to take place?
In the moment, at the border by us, so in Germany, they take place in the moment because, you know, for expandations in other countries, we have
Mm.
to grow. We have to
Yeah.
grow because, hey, we put it the last 3 years, all what we had, no matter money or energy or all inside that, all, you know. It's not that we are millionaires. And that's why we have to do things. We are active everywhere. That's why we have so much stress, family, that children, all. That's why, yes, the last 3 years, you know, I was not really much with my family. like that. I could not make much energy in them, and that's why I have to take also care about them, and that's why I have to know my how to say that, my borders, I have to know my limit, and that's why for example, now we make 1 month, we take a little bit care of the family, and then we are back, and it will be crazy
Well, of
on the
course.
next season, because that's also the difference between from Frontier. So we make also seasons like from movies. The next thing would be in the lake. It's water world. So we try also to make that a creative character, not only bam bam bam. So with story, with the last thing with Valhalla, we try to give the people a feeling.
Yes.
Yes,
It's fucking a spectacle, man, to be honest with you. And like you said
thank
earlier,
you.
man, if you're 31, like, you're still young. Like I would tell you, man, like pursue fighting. I would go out there, man, while you still can and try to fight and just build your brand, like build yourself and along with Frontier and the group as a whole.
Exactly.
And that would be really good, man, because I really think that you have top level fighting skills. Honestly, like I definitely feel like you could compete with a lot of high level fighters. You just choose, obviously, a different path.
That's right. But you have to imagine, I had since I'm 16, I had almost every month, every 2 months, I had a fight. So yes, and I have still fights. I sent it you the last video. I have still fights. I have every time
Mm,
fights, like that. So
mm,
of course, the thing is with the active way, that I want to make with fight something, out of myself. Like that's a little bit maybe for that I have too much stress. For example, if you want to be a really good fighter, you can only
yeah,
fight. You cannot
you're
run
right.
Frontier, run your family, run that, run that, run that. You can
No,
fight. Maybe your family, but then, you know.
no, I
So I
understand.
live,
I understand completely.
for example, I live 4 lives. I'm a father from Frontier. I'm a sportler. Yes,
You're a
that's why.
master. You're a master of all trades.
Yes, I know my limit slowly. If you become older, you know your limit, and you know what is worth. Okay, I cannot be a champion, but I can be a good father for my daughter, like that. Like that, I see that now. For example, a
That's
few years ago, I would not see that like that. But now I'm a little bit older. I'm still young, but yes, you grow up, you grow more and more, and the mind changes.
yes,
Yes,
sir. Well,
yes.
Lavie, man, I really appreciate you joining me, giving us a
Hey,
little,
thank you.
dropping a little nuggets of
Thank you, bro. And you come soon to Germany, or?
yeah, man, for sure. I'm gonna end the video and talk to you about that for just a split second. But I appreciate you, man, for joining me. It was a pleasure talking to you, my friend.